a lot of people get divorced when they have newborns or they're still nursing their infants, some moms. What are there special custody arrangements that can be made for situations where a mother is still nursing or dealing with a newborn?
I have to tell you, so as a young lawyer, my answer is, I'll start with a story and then I'll answer the question. The story was, as a young, well, I don't know if I was super young anymore, but when I started doing family law about more than 20 years ago, I had a client who's a mom. It was a parentage case, so paternity. They were unmarried, and like a 1-year-old who was nursing. And the dad had very little involvement with the child. Kind of the scenario you were talking about a little bit before, like what if there isn't much involvement initially? Will dad get parenting time? The answer is yes, much more than the mom would probably maybe like. But the court's philosophy is give them enough rope to hang themselves. That, I don't mean to sound negative, but it's more like, let's give them a chance, because stats show that children benefit from having a relationship with both parents. So if a father, let's say another parent, wants to step up and do that parenting, even though they haven't so far, the court's going to try to give them a chance. So let's rewind, though. Along those lines, here's the story. I go into court, and I haven't done one of these before, and I've got this baby in this situation, and we're going to go into court to deal with parenting time for the first time. The evidence is the guys had very little involvement. After she got pregnant, they broke up and was very distant. He only saw the child a couple times. And my client said, look, I don't want him having any involvement with the child, only maybe when I'm with the child on like a Saturday every week, but I have to nurse the baby and he doesn't care about the baby, blah, et cetera, et cetera. So, okay. So I march into court. This is my battle plan. I'm going to tell the judge all this stuff, and I'm going to get this limited visitation. So I go in, I make the pitch, and I'm in my nice suit, and there's other lawyers there, and the other lawyer makes the counter argument and says he wants to step up and be a dad and be involved with the child and all that. All good arguments, but I thought maybe, back then, if you had a parentage case, the courts tended to award sole custody to the moms back in those days, because in a parentage case, it tended to lean that direction. And then more and more now, really, it's been more of a joint custody default situation these days. It's not written in the law, but that's what the outcomes are, which has been a pretty dramatic change over 20 or 30 years. Anyway, so I thought, this will be sole custody, and we're going to limit this parenting time, at least when the dad's new and at this, and the baby's real young, and I got the nursing argument, which should win. And the judge just says something like, counsel, babies aren't magical devices that nobody understands. 16-year-old girls are allowed to walk out of the hospital with a baby. And it's like, I'm going to give this guy, every other weekend starting and one night a week, and we'll see how it goes. And I was kind of shocked because I thought I had a real good argument. But that was my first introduction to the court's attitude about babies, which is they're not magic. They don't take special training. You don't have to get a license to have one. And I was learned my lesson. And so the moral of the story is nursing isn't magical. The court will say, if you want the other parent to feed them with the nursing milk, you provide it to them, or they're going to give them formula. The court just doesn't get involved in that stuff. Wow. And the court thinks that the benefit to the child of having both parents involved outweighs those negatives. And if that parent wants to step up, the court's going to encourage that. So I always tell people, even in sort of an estranged situation, like in parentage, where they haven't been an item for a long time and maybe the other parent hasn't been involved for quite a while, the court's going to start small, but then ramp up the parenting time as they demonstrate that they're capable and they're attending they're making it to the parenting sessions. In extreme situations, they might call for reunification counseling, where they have a counselor facilitate the interaction between the parent and child to help make sure it's going well and supervise that for a period of time until it's built up.
So much good stuff in here, Raiford. I appreciate you being on the podcast today, and recommend everybody, especially if you're thinking about it, going through it, A Gift for a Friend. I Just Want This Done is his book. You can get it on Amazon. Raiford, let people know where they can find you.
You can find me online. It's easy to find me, Raiford Palmer. I'm on Twitter at Raiford Palmer, TikTok at Raiford Palmer, Chicagoland Divorce Lawyer on TikTok, Instagram at Raiford Palmer. The law firm is STG Divorce Law. We're very easy to find on Google. If you just look up STG Divorce Law. Also, my book website is ijustwantthisdone.com. And find us on Amazon and Audible. The book's got great reviews and people love it. So give us your feedback. Always happy to improve. And I'm working on book 2 right now.
Thank you, Raiford. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Rob. Take care.